This kid's dad freaked out. They're at the grocery store, shopping for their weekly groceries. Cereal, milk, frozen waffles, frozen pizza, lunch meat. Everything seems normal. Then they pull up to the aisle. They're at the cashier. He scans everything. All right, that'll be $125.64. The dad then goes into his pockets and pulls out this giant stack of coupons. Yeah, all right, here you go. Hands them to him super confident. The cashier starts scanning them. Beep, boop, beep, boop, bop, bop, beep. Then he goes, "Sir, every single one of these is like 9 years old. Everyone expired. Super expired. Scan them again." Okay, beep, beep, boop, bop, beep, beep, boop. The beeps obviously came from the machine, not his mouth. But this is a video. But he says again, yeah, no, they're all expired. Dad starts raising his voice in front of everybody at the store. His kid is with him. He's like, "Dad, please settle down. We're in public. This is absolutely ridiculous. Doesn't make any sense at all. You know what? I'm leaving." He then starts to push the cart out of the store. "Dad, we have to pay. I'm not paying for anything." Now the kid is standing there by the cashier. Cashier's watching the dad push the cart out and then looks at him. Yeah, this is gonna be a problem. Kid then does something that he never forgave his dad for. He pulled out his wallet and paid for the entire grocery haul with all the money he made that summer from mowing people's lawns. Here, this should cover it. He was saving up for a brand new bike. Worst part is, his dad never paid him back. That's messed up. The biggest loss of aura in school history. This kid built his whole reputation off of basketball. He wasn't on the team, but he would always say he was really good. He carried a basketball around with him everywhere. Hey, what's up, guys? At lunch or in class, whenever he was chilling, he would be spinning the ball on his finger. Yo, check this out. Cool, huh? And people did think it was cool. And he would always say, "No, I don't want to be on the basketball team. Too much commitment. I just play in my backyard." Well, okay. Yeah, the team is trash though anyway. Then the pep rally comes up. The principal goes, "Alrighty, students, now it's time for the free throw challenge. Let's get somebody who's not on the team up here. See what you can do." And everybody volunteers this kid. "Hey, come on, man. He'll do it." Yeah. He'll totally do it. The entire school knows him, so the entire gym is cheering so loudly. This kid gets up there. He's already got a basketball with him. Right. He takes his first shot. And he misses. Crowd's like, "What?" He brushes it off. "It's a joke. It's a joke. Give me the ball." Misses again. And again. And again. He can't make one hoop. Now the cheers stopped. And the laughing began. Everyone's yelling at him, calling him a fraud, calling him a loser. "Dude, you actually suck. He sucks." Kid begins crying. He was all talk, forever. Everyone thought he was a basketball god. Turns out, he's trash. He runs out of the gym, and he never comes to school with a basketball ever again. This is what happens when your math teacher sucks. This guy's kid is in 4th grade, and she's been having trouble in math. The whole year she's struggled, but when they got to multiplication and division, she struggled even more. I just don't understand it, Dad. I know, let's just try it again. The thing is, she just doesn't understand the method they're teaching, and it doesn't sound easy. So for multiplying, it's a bunch of steps. You break up the numbers, you draw boxes, then you multiply and then add them together. Something like that. And she gets these problems wrong like 90% of the time. So Dad's like, "You know what? I'm gonna teach you the way that I learned how to do multiplication." She's like, "Okay." And guess what? "Oh, Dad, I understand it." She under-frickin-stands it. Homework is a million times easier now because she learned it and she's actually solving the problems. Well, here's the issue. His daughter had a math test a few weeks ago, and she came home very upset. "Dad, I failed." "What? Let me see your test." She got a 50%, even though she only got 2 problems wrong. Technically, it should have been a 92%. So he goes into school and he has a conversation with the teacher. "Can you explain why my daughter failed?" The teacher says, "Yes, it's because she didn't use the method that I taught in this class." "Excuse me?" The dad pointed out that the test just says to show you work. It doesn't say to use a specific method. But she said, "Well, that's too bad. I taught my method to these students for a reason. Your daughter didn't use it, so she fails." Oh, the dad was furious. He went to the principal. He admits that he made it a pretty big deal. "What are you guys teaching in the school, huh? Some bogus way to do multiplication? It's so much easier than that. Now my daughter's failing even though she got a 92% on the test." Except with a lot more yelling. The principal called the teacher in and forced her to change the girl's grade to an A. The principal then apologized to the dad and said, "It won't happen again." Better not. But for real, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. This kid's not all there. I'm thirsty. But he wanted to focus really hard on the spelling tests. He didn't want to be distracted by taking a sip of water or asking to go get some. So this was his brilliant idea. He went to the water fountain before class. He got a very big gulp of water and left it in his mouth. He heard that this is what the squirrels do. They put nuts in their mouth and they save them for later. Well, that was his idea, but with water. So now he's sitting in class. The teacher's naming the words, and he's writing the spelling down with a bunch of water in his mouth. Alright class, your next word is fortitude. His plan was to take small, tiny gulps throughout the test, so he never went thirsty. Well, about 2 minutes into the test, his cheeks give way, and a bunch of water just falls right on his desk. The test and the desk were soaked. Water was now spilling on the floor, and other kids noticed. The teacher walks over. Why is there a bunch of water on your desk and the floor? The kid didn't know how to respond, so he just looks her in the eyes and said, I have no idea. The teacher was so confused by that answer that she just walked away. No more questions were asked. He failed that spelling test. What? Alright class, first we dissect, then we eat. This biology teacher had a side job as a chef, and apparently he was pretty good. Well, the kids in his biology class would frequently have these days, dissection days, where you would dissect frogs, cats, I don't know. But most of the time, the teacher would order a bunch of squid from the local market. The squid would be thawed out, raw, and passed out to every student. All right, you should all have a worksheet and a squid. You have 25 minutes. Get to dissect it. Everybody would dissect the squids. They would use the ink to write messages to each other. It sounds kind of fun if you like that kind of stuff. But then the teacher would do something different. He would pull out a George Foreman portable grill from underneath his desk, plug it in, and preheat that baby. Then he would collect all these squids from each lab table, bring them up, season them, and toss them on the grill. Oh, it's smelling good. The first time he did this, the students thought he was absolutely insane. They're like, there's no way we're gonna eat that. But then someone tried it. Wait, that's actually good. Let me try. That is good. I guess the way he cooked this squid was just delectable, and they were constantly looking forward to these days. And although it sounds weird, I think that's a good teacher. This kid ran a super weird business at school. My follower sent me the story about someone who went to his high school. Well, I guess one day he came to a realization that almost everyone is ticklish. Well, during lunch at the school, there was a classroom that no one used. It was the science room. There were no windows in this classroom either. Well, one day he told a bunch of people to come to the science room during lunch, and a bunch of people did. When they got to the science room, they saw this kid, and a giant sign that said, anyone that can be tickled for 2 minutes without squirming or laughing wins food. And in that room was a giant table with a bunch of food and snacks on it. And he charged a $10 entry fee if anyone wanted to do the challenge. Well, surprisingly enough, almost everyone accepted this challenge. People were paying this guy to tickle them, and if they could handle being tickled for 2 minutes, they would win a bunch of food from the food table. This went on for 6 months, and in total he made over $5,000. Well, one day, someone couldn't pass the challenge. They got mad and told the principal, and the principal shut him down. That's crazy. The weirdest things kids have ever done. The person that shared this said that last year, as she was picking up her dog's poop in her backyard, she realized that her dog had pooped more, and some of the poops were looking very weird. She didn't think too much of it. Well, every day after that, for about 3 weeks, she kept noticing these weird poops in the yard. She was starting to get concerned. Was her dog sick? Why did some poops look normal and some poops look weird? She then called and made an appointment to take the dog to a vet. Well, a couple of days before the appointment, she was doing dishes in her kitchen. That's when she glanced out the kitchen window and noticed something strange happening in her backyard. It was her daughter, pooping in the yard. Those weird poops did not come from the dog. They came from her own kid. Turns out her daughter had been pooping in their backyard every day for weeks because she was scared of the bathroom. Yeah, I'm gonna need to cancel my dog's appointment. Yeah, bye-bye. Did this kid do anything wrong? This happened right before Christmas break. He was sitting in class. His friend was sitting right next to him, and there was a girl sitting behind him. Throughout the class, he started getting whiffs of a fart smell. What in the world? But he ignored it, because he assumed it would just probably go away. But then it got to a point where it was happening every 1 to 2 minutes. Oh, God. Towards the end of the class, he whispers to his friend, "Yo, bro, who the heck keeps farting? It's pissing me off. I can't focus." Dude, I smell it too, right? Well, the girl sitting behind him heard this, and she immediately started crying. At this point, everyone is staring at them. The girl runs out of the classroom, and the teacher goes out there to see what happens. She told the teacher that she was embarrassed. Long story short, everyone knows she farted and cried about it, and now the dean wants to talk to them when they get back from Christmas break. Do you think he did anything wrong? Let me know. This kid is an absolute legend. When this kid was growing up, he had somehow grown a tail. Well, by the time he was in 6th grade, he had to get it surgically removed. The surgery was a success, but he had stitches where the tail had to be removed. He was given a doctor's note to bring to class, to let his teachers know that he was supposed to sit on a soft cushion, because stitches. Well, one of his teachers wasn't having it. Hey, no, you can't sit on that unless you have a cushion for everyone in this class. But sir, I have a doctor's note. I don't care. These chairs are way too hard. I have stitches. Listen, you rabbit's foot prick. You're gonna man up and sit out, okay? So what he did was, on purpose, he sat down on that stiff chair as hard as he possibly could. So hard that his stitches tore, and he started bleeding all over the place. Go to the principal's office right now. He was sent to the principal's office. When he got there, he told the principal what happened, and the principal was on his side. However, the worst part about this was the teacher didn't get in trouble at all. Hey bro, so I think I'm gonna ask Stacy to the dance. Bro, good for you, dude. You deserve it. But you might want to act quick because, look, no, they call me Mr. Suave. No, I'm kidding. But I am suave though. I'm super suave. Let's just say I lift about, 110 on a good day. You know what? I'm going up there. Hey, Stacy. Oh, hey, Kyle. What are you doing? What are you doing here, loser? Stacy, quick question. Are you inflatable? No. Why? Oh, did you hear that, Chad? She's not your type. I only bought one of those dolls and it was a joke. Yeah, right. You're just saying that in front of Stacy because you hate me. Oh, no. I'm not saying I hate you. What I'm saying is if you were dying, I would unplug your life support to charge my phone. Stacy, you, me, dance Friday? What do you say? I will see you there. Bye, Stacy. The weirdest compliments people received. This woman was stopped on the street by a stranger. Hey, excuse me. Yeah? I just wanted to say that I love your cheekbones. You look like an elf. Thank you. This person also got a weird compliment. Hey, bro, this is Jack. Hey, what's up, man? Jack, nice to meet you. I'm Carl. Oh, man. What? Let me see that. You have an awesome left ear. Thank you, man. That's really nice of you to say. This girl was on a date. Hi, Steven, right? Stacy, you look different than in your pictures. Well, I hope that's a good thing. Oh, no, it's good. You look like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. But in a cute way, like a cute Gollum. And last but not least, have you ever been complimented by your dentist? Well, this dude has. Buddy, your oral cavity
is amazing to work with. There's so much space in here.
Oh, thank you. This high school made a huge mistake. All of the boys' bathrooms at this one high school were shut down by the school because somebody was stealing toilet paper. So they closed down the bathrooms until the person who was stealing toilet paper turned themselves in. Well, that's not fair to the other students. For about a week, the boys' bathrooms were closed, and the boys were getting very upset by it. How can they lock the bathrooms? What if I had to poop? I have to poop right now. I've been holding it in every single day. Boys, I have an idea. After lunch, at exactly 1:15 p.m., stand on your desks and take a dump right there. Spread the word. The second the clock hit 1:15, this is what happened. A total of 25 dudes pooped on their desks in the middle of class. The school actually got into huge trouble for denying people bathroom privileges, and the poop incident went down in history. This Christmas story is hilarious. The person that shared this said that she is 2 years older than her little sister. Well, when her sister was 5 years old, she had walked up to her Christmas tree a few weeks before Christmas, and she saw a giant wrapped box with her name on it. Look, Carla, this biggest present here is mine. It has my name on it. It's bigger than all of yours. Naturally, she was really mad. What the heck? She was jealous that her sister was going to get the biggest present there. Well, fast forward to Christmas morning, and they were opening up their presents. It was time for her 5-year-old sister to open up that big present that she was so excited about. All right, sweetie, why don't you open that big one right there? In your face. She opened it up in a hurry, but her excitement quickly turned to despair. What is this? It was a lamp. What am I going to do with a lamp?
Idiot.
Shut up! I hate my life. Why would you give me a lamp? An awesome way to mess with someone. The guy that shared the story said that when he was 12 years old, he was sitting on a bench at Six Flags by himself, when suddenly an average-looking guy in his 20s comes up to him, looks him dead in the eyes and says, "You are going to remember me for the rest of your life." And he walks away. That kid is now 45 years old, and that random stranger was correct. He's thought about that moment every day since then. That's crazy. When this person was in 6th grade, he went to this small store by his house and bought a bunch of tiny food-shaped erasers, like these. He sold the erasers 2 for $1, and business was frickin' booming. He was making tons of money, and he kept buying more and more erasers, and he kept selling out. By the end of the year, he made over $1,000. What did he use that money for? He spent all that money on food for his family, and gave some of it to his grandma. Respect. Worst Christmas gifts ever. When this girl was 8 years old, it was Christmas morning and she was hanging out with her entire family. Her grandma hands her a gift. "This is to you from me." "I can't wait to open it, Grandma. Thank you so much." She opens it up and sees that it's a Christmas ornament. It's a little cherub with yarn hair and rosy cheeks. Well, this upset her very much. She cried because this was the exact same ornament she got for her grandma the year before, and she had to save her allowance up for weeks in order to get it. But apparently, her grandma didn't care. An embarrassing middle school moment. When this kid was in 6th grade, he had this huge crush on one of his classmates, but she seemed to never notice him. Until one day, they were paired up to do a project together. She was sitting across from him, and they were actually having a great conversation. That's so crazy, that's my favorite show as well. I'm actually kind of excited to be working with you on this. Me too. Until all of a sudden, he had to sneeze. However, as he sneezed, a giant booger shot out of his nose and got stuck on his crush's forehead. "Wipe it off right now. Wipe it off." And instead of wiping the booger off, he decided to play it cool and say, "No, wipe it off yourself." And he made her clean his booger off of her face. After that, she asked the teacher for a new partner, and she never talked to him ever again. We are here with Steve. And Steve is not a big fan of his grandma, especially around the holidays. Can you tell us why that is, Steve? Yeah, well, my grandma's a grade A asshole. She would give me the worst Christmas gifts ever. One year, she gave us a VHS tape of the Bible. And this was in 2012, so no one still had a freaking VHS player, you know. I threw that away. Okay, what else? When I was 10, she gave me a guitar for Christmas, and then she made me pay her back for it the week after. Yeah, and I had to pay her back. Because she's a scary woman. I am so sorry, Steve. Anything else come to mind? Yeah, one year she gave me a gumball machine with expired candy in it. She kept the key to get the money out. She said that the money I used to put in there is payment for the machine. She would come and collect that money once a month. That is super petty. Craziest one yet was actually last year. She gave me a cooking pan, but there was still eggs in it from the last time she used it. I actually have a picture here. Is she still alive? No. Thank God. Black markets kids ran in their schools, a subscriber submission. At this person's middle school, the lunchroom never served any sides with any of their meals. So if they were serving hot dogs, it was just a hot dog. Burgers, it was just the burgers. Pizza, just the pizza. Well, the kids at the school thought this was bogus. Every good lunch needs a side. So this guy had a brilliant idea. Every morning before school, he would heat up a bunch of French fries in his air fryer. And I'm talking a lot of French fries. He would then put them in an insulated pack so they stayed warm. And at lunch, he would sell them to other students. It was an immediate hit. Business was, you know what I'm gonna say, booming. On average, he was making $100 a day. This went on for weeks. You can imagine how much money he was making. One day the school found out what he was doing, but they didn't shut it down. They were impressed. So they gave him his own stand to run during lunch, where he would sell the fries that he made. All in all, he had made over $10,000. The bathroom is right there. Will you come in with me, Dad? Elliot, you're 13 years old. You can go to the bathroom by yourself, okay? No. Why are you always here? They got beautiful payback on their neighbor. This family started noticing their packages going missing, so they set up a camera by their doorbell. It wasn't long before they realized that the person stealing their packages was their neighbor, so they had a plan. They saved up a few of their baby's dirty, poopy diapers, and they put them in an Amazon box and sealed it. They left it on their doorstep, and that night, like a moth to a flame, their neighbor came to take it. Watch. But when she realized that it was dirty diapers in the package, she came back. Oh, great. There's a hole in my shoes. Hey, Bill, can you get me a pair? Bill! Yeah, what's up, boss? Can you get me a pair? A pair of what? I don't have time for this, okay? I'm texting you the address. This is my usual spot, alright? Please be back quick. Okay. This should be the place. Mr. Stevens, you saucy dog. Yeah, how can I help you? Yeah, I'll take a pair of your finest twins, please. What? Yeah, I'll take your finest pair of twins. This is a shoe store. Oh, a pair of shoes. You guys should really fix your sign. A news team was interviewing this man live on the air when somebody that he owed money to showed up.
First and foremost, we are used to stay outside, like this one. It end up.
I guarantee he paid him his money after that. This story is crazy. The guy that shared this story said that he had a coworker, and one day at work, this coworker came in with some exciting news. I have some very exciting news. I got married. Oh, what? Bro, we didn't even know you were seeing anybody, but congrats. They were all confused because this guy was kind of strange and he wasn't very smart. But he showed them a picture of him and his new bride. Yeah, I got a picture right here. This is us on our wedding day. His coworkers were immediately suspicious. They thought he had made the entire thing up and photoshopped her in that picture. Well, not exactly. Turns out this dude met her online on some Russian bride website, and she immediately wanted to get married, so she moved to the United States and lived with him. But before long, she came up with some crazy story, had him arrested and committed to a psych ward. She cleaned out his bank accounts, sold everything he owned, and then disappeared forever. Eventually, this dude's mother and his boss worked together to get him released from the psych ward, and he came back to work, and they all pitched in money to buy him at least a few pieces of furniture. Crazy things teachers did. This teacher said he has a thing he does whenever he loses control of his class. He grabs a stapler and says, "Anyone want to put a staple in my hand? The physical pain would be nothing compared to how I feel right now, when all I want to do is help you guys reach your full potential, but you don't care." Somebody then usually doubts his seriousness and says, "Yeah, I'll put a staple in your hand." That's when he walks up to their desk, puts the stapler down, and puts his hand down and says, "Do it." The students usually give a nervous giggle and they pretend to do it, but they never do. Well, one day he did this little stunt again, and a student was like, "Yes, mister, I'll put a staple in your hand." He brings a stapler over, puts his hand down, and the student actually staples his hand. He didn't freak out or anything. He calmly looked at his hand, asked, "Did that really happen?" Pulled the staple out while blood trickled down, and he said, "Are we done? Can I go back to teaching now?" All the students were completely shocked. The kid that did it felt so bad that he stapled his own hand at the end of class. This person saw the craziest thing in a waiting room. This guy took his dad to a doctor's appointment at the hospital. His dad was taken to go get some x-rays. So while he was waiting, he went to the vending machine. That's when he heard some commotion. He turned around to see what was going on, and that's when he saw a moose standing in the waiting room staring at the receptionist. "It's looking at me. It's looking at me." Security was called, and when they got there, they obviously did not know what to do. Everyone just stood around for about 10 to 15 minutes, until the moose decided to walk out of the building on its own. Crazy things teachers said to students. The guy that shared this story said that when he was in 4th grade, his teacher told him something that freaked him out. "You see that, Kyle? That's the sun, right? Is that the sun? Yes, that's the sun. Well, the crazy thing about the sun is, Kyle, by the time you turn 25, the sun's gonna explode, and it's gonna kill you and kill everyone you know. As a 4th grader, he had never thought about death before, but after that conversation, he was having an existential crisis, and his dad saw him crying. What's wrong, man? My teacher said that when I turn 25, the sun is gonna explode and kill me and everyone that I know. Is that true, Dad? She told you that? No, don't worry about it, buddy, okay? It's not gonna happen. Yeah, I'm sorry to be calling you so late, but did you tell my kid that the sun is gonna explode and kill everybody when he turns 25? Yeah? Don't do that. And the next day when that kid went to school, she apologized. He will regret this for the rest of his life. This guy's sister was murdered 3 years ago. 2 weeks before her murder, she left him a voicemail. Call me back when you can, but I'm scared to go home right now, and I've been scared for a while, and I think someone's after me. But I was wondering if I could please come and live with you, please. He lived across the country from his sister. Well, his sister had a history of substance abuse, and he thought she was calling for money again. Well, he didn't really want her around his newborn baby, so he never called her back. Then he heard the news that she was killed. He could have stopped it. If he would have booked her a flight and let her live with him, this would have never happened. He has held this guilt ever since. And his mom says that she will never forgive him. This girl is the worst. The guy that shared the story said it was halfway through his freshman year of high school. He didn't have any friends and he was bullied fairly often. He sat in the back of every single class he was in and he stayed quiet most of the time. That's why he was confused when suddenly this popular girl started talking to him. Steven, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm Kayla. After about a week of flirting with him, she asked for his number. A few days after that, they were walking down the hallway together when she led him to a stairwell that was rarely used. Come with me. Okay. When they got in the stairwell, he just stood there, and then she leaned in for a kiss. But right before they made contact, she spit in his face. Oh, God! That's when a bunch of her friends popped out of nowhere. What a loser! Like I'd ever kiss you. This is hilarious. This person said that when he was 6 years old, he was hanging out with his little 3-year-old brother when he told him something to mess with him. Hey, you see that? Yeah? That's a TV. And you see all those people on the TV? Yeah. Well, you see, those people are actually stuck inside the TV. They got sucked in because they were sitting too close to the screen. What? For a month after that, whenever the TV was turned on, this kid would lose his mind, trying to get as far away as he can from the TV. Come on, kids, let's watch a movie. The parents eventually found out why their youngest son was terrified of the TV, and it took a very long time to get him to not be scared. Black markets kids ran in their schools. This kid went to a military high school, and Wi-Fi wasn't allowed in the dorms. Now, the only place on campus that had Wi-Fi was the student center. So this dude got a brilliant idea. He bought a Wi-Fi repeater and set it up next to his window. That's when he realized he got just enough signal from the student center to boost it to his entire dorm. And this is how his business started. He charged people $10 a week to keep the password. He even kept an Excel sheet with everyone's device on there, and if they paid or not. Payment was due every Thursday because that was the day they would get their allowance from their parents. And if they didn't pay by Friday, he would blacklist their devices. At one point, he was making $200 a week, and he was never caught. This babysitter is so mad. This person is 20 years old and she's a babysitter. One night, she was babysitting this one family's kids while the parents went out. The mom left money on the counter for them to order pizzas and breadsticks. The pizza and the breadsticks were delivered. They all ate, she had a few slices, and that was that. When the parents came home that night, they asked her how it went. Hi, okay, so how did everything go? I hope they didn't give you too much trouble. Oh, everything went perfect. The kids were well behaved. That pizza place, though, was so good. I've never gotten food from there before. What? When she said that about the pizza, the mom got puzzled. She then asked, why did you eat the kids' dinner? I only had 2 slices and a breadstick. I think that's okay, right? No, not really okay. I didn't expect to have to feed you as well. Don't eat our family's food, please. Okay, have a good night. What? The worst Christmas gifts ever. This woman says that one Christmas when she was about 25, she went home for the holidays. It was Christmas Day and she was with her entire family opening up presents. Her aunt hands her a gift, and this is for Carla, from me, your aunt. Oh, thank you so much, Aunt Jenny. She opens up the gift, and she was surprised to see that it was baby clothes. A lot of baby clothes. The thing is, she wasn't pregnant. She was single, she didn't look like she was pregnant, and she had never talked about having children. So she couldn't understand why her aunt would give her baby clothes. But she just went along with it. Thank you so much. I think they're gonna be great. Let me know if they don't fit, and I'll exchange them for the right size. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. The worst Christmas gifts ever. This girl's dad had just gotten remarried to a woman who had 3 kids of her own. And it was the first Christmas they were all spending together. It was her dad, her new stepmom, and her 3 new step-siblings. Well, on Christmas morning, everyone was handed a gift, and the step-siblings opened theirs first. Oh my god, a new laptop. Oh my god, me too, I got a laptop too. Hey, a laptop! Yo, what's up? Now that her 3 step-siblings went, it was her turn to open her gift. And since her gift was shaped the same as theirs, she was assuming she was getting a laptop as well. So she opened it. I'm pretty sure I know what mine is. It wasn't a laptop. Instead, it was a $25 McDonald's gift card that her stepmom put in a laptop-shaped box. I know how much you love McDonald's. Alright everyone, enjoy your new gifts. This stepmom is the worst. So the person that shared this story said that his stepmom has always hated him. When he was younger, she would tell his dad to not bring him on family trips because he wasn't a part of their family. That's weird. Anyway, during the time that his dad was married to this woman, this kid was obsessed with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Well, on his birthday, he had asked his dad and his stepmom for tickets to the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, as they were going to be in his town in mid-December. Fast forward to November, and he reiterated that he really wanted to see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra in mid-December. Well, the day of the concert came and went. He obviously did not get to go. Fast forward a week or two to Christmas Day. He was opening up a gift from his stepmother. It was an extra-large t-shirt that said Trans-Siberian Orchestra on it.
Yeah, I took your dad to see the concert a couple weeks ago. I remembered that you loved this band, so we got you a shirt. Enjoy it.
You are a horrible woman. This dude accidentally ruined Christmas. The guy that shared this story has a wife and 2 young children. It was a couple days before Christmas, and he was kind of groggy. He was partying with his neighbor the night before. Well, it was garbage day, and he was taking out the trash. He went back inside through the garage, and he noticed that there were 2 more big black garbage bags. So he took those out and threw them in the trash as well. The garbage truck came, and that was that. Well, fast forward to Christmas Eve. His wife had asked him,
Hey Doug, have you seen the kids' Christmas gifts?
No, where did you put them last?
I had all of their gifts in a big garbage bag in the garage, but they're not there.
That's right. He had accidentally thrown away every single Christmas gift that was meant for his kids. And like I said, it was now Christmas Eve.
You better go out and figure this out.
Okay. Everything was closed, except for 7-Eleven. So what did he do? He bought a bunch of stuff from 7-Eleven. He brought that home, and that's what his kids got for Christmas the next morning. To this day, those kids referred to that one Christmas as the year Santa forgot their gifts, and instead brought them candy and lottery tickets.
আমার নেক্সট আপকামিং 5টা প্রজেক্টের ফুটেজ ছিল এই ফোনটাতে তোমরা এটা কেন করছো এই ফোনটার মধ্যে আমার কত জরুরি ফুটেজ ছিল আমার
শোন হোয়াট দ্য ফাক এই আপনি কে এসব কি করছেন আপনি দেখতে মানুষের মতো আর ভূতের মাস্ক পরে ভয় দেখানো হ্যাঁ আমি কখনো তাকে দেখিনি চিনিও না ইভেন এই কে আপনি হোয়াট দ্য হেল আপনি জান
হু আর ইউ ওয়েট বলছি একটা সেকেন্ড
ম্যাক্স ভাই স্যার নিজেও তো আপনার খুব ফ্যান দেখলাম ভাই একটা যদি সুযোগ দেন একটা সেলফি তুলে রাখ
নো
69/2 শঙ্কর গলিটা কোন দিকে
শঙ্কর গলিতে আপনি পার্কের মধ্যে পাবেন না
আচ্ছা পার্ক তো বুঝলাম 3 নাম্বার গেটটা কোন দিকে পার্কের
3 নাম্বার গেট তো ওইদিকে
শুভনাপু আপনার বেবি কি হলো শুভনাপু আপনার বেবি আল্লাহ কি হয়েছে
তোমার জিনিসটা ঝামেলা হচ্ছে যে সব নষ্ট হয়ে যাবে প্যারাই না
আর শোনো টিন্ডারে ম্যাচ হওয়া মানেই কিন্তু আই এম নট রেডি ফর হুক আপ আজ দেখা হবে কাল ডেট হবে আমি এরকম মেয়ে না
যত সব ফেক আইডি এতদিন ফেসবুকে সব ফেক আইডি দেখতাম এখন বাস্তবে ঘুরে বেড়াও যত সব যাবেন ফাজিল কোথাকার
বলছিলাম না যে আপনারে আমার সেলফি তুলতে চাবেন
না
তখন তো পাত্তা দেন নাই ভাই
স্যার আমি তো খুবই সরি স্যার নিজে তো আপনার বড় ফ্যান একটা সুযোগ দেন একটা সেলফি
ওইটা আচ্ছা আচ্ছা দেখেন তো এখানে তো তাই লেখা না
3 নম্বর গেট, আবার পার্ক, আবার শঙ্কর গলি, বুঝতেছি না।
3 নাম্বার গেট ওইদিকে।
ফোন দিয়ে যেতেছি তুমি ফোনই ধরো না, তোমার ফোন ধরার কোনো নামই নাই, কোনো কথা, তোমার ফোন ধরো না কেন?
এবারে এক্সামের প্রিপারেশন কিরকম তোদের? আমি তো খুবই এক্সাইটেড, কারণ আমার প্রিপারেশন খুবই ভালো।
জিসান দরজা খোল।
কি বুঝতেছি না। সুন্দর মতো যাবি, ভাবির নামটা জিজ্ঞাবি। আর শোন, ভালো মতো কথা কবে, ভাবি লাগে খালি থাপড় আর চাপাবাজি, থাপড় আর চাপাবাজি, এই বাদে আর কিছু পারছোস? বুকিং মানে বুকিং, তুমি আমার আমি তোমার, বুকিং দিয়ে দিছি ফাইনাল।
আমাকে বুকিং দিছে মানে আমাকে কে বুকিং দিছে দোস্ত?
তোর যে আশিক আছে না, এখন তো আমার পিছনে লাগছে।
এই এই দুলাভাই সামনে থাকলে যে সালাম দিতে হয়, আপনি শিখাই নাই তোরা? কেমন আছো তুমি?
ভালো।
আমাকে জিজ্ঞেস করবো না রক্তটা দিবি তুই? আমি কেন রক্ত দেবো? প্রেম খরচ তুই, রক্ত। আমার বন্ধু জিসান আপনাকে অনেক ভালোবাসে ভাবি, আপনার ওর রক্ত যাওয়াটা বিধে হতে দিবেন না ভাবি।
দেখ শোনো, আমি একটা জিনিস ভাবতেছিলাম।
কি বলো তো?
সেটা হচ্ছে যে আই থিঙ্ক উই ক্যান বি আ ভেরি গুড পেন। জীবনে তো কোনো হাফ ডান প্র্যাঙ্কের ইতিহাস নেই, আজকে এটারে ফুল ডান করে ছাড়বো। ভাই
ওকে I should go now. I should go now.
না না, হি জাস্ট গো নাও, ঠিক আছে?
এপ্রিল ফুল, আজকে 1 এপ্রিল, তুমি সবাইকে বোকা বানাও, আমরা আজকে তোমাকে বোকা বানিয়েছি।
নেন, মানব কল্যাণে ম্যাক্স আগে আসবে, এটাই তো স্বাভাবিক।
হ্যালো, আরে ঠিকানা তো খুঁজে পাচ্ছি না, আপনি কোন ঠিকানা দিছেন?
খারাপ হবে না, তাছাড়া তুমি তো দেখতে শুনতে ভালোই সুন্দরী। একটা সুন্দরী মেয়ে যদি টিমের সাথে থাকে, খারাপ কি? I'd love to, no worries.
শেষ।
মা, এই ফোন আমার কষ্ট করে কেনা ফোন।
শাট আপ,
একটা কথা আর বলবি না।
কি সমস্যা? কি সমস্যা তোমাদের?
তুমি নাকি আমার ফোন ভেঙে ফেলছো?
ফোনটা তো আনাই হইছে, খুঁজে না এখন।
দেখেন আপনারা যে আমাকে থানা নিচ্ছেন, আপনাদের থানাও কিন্তু আমার ফ্যান ফলোয়াররা ঘেরাও করে ফেলবে। হোসেন ভাই ম্যান, আপনারা একটু পর আমার সাথে সেলফি তুলতে চান, তখন আমি তুলবো না।
থানা নিয়ে যান, থানা নিয়ে যান। শোন, ওই যে ও দেখ শুয়ে আছে ও। আজকে ব্যাটার 3 নাম্বার গাছটা তার পেছনে গিয়ে তুই কিন্তু দাঁড়াবি, ঠিক আছে? ঠিক আছে। আজকে ব্যাটার খবর আছে।
আরো নেক্সট লেভেল। হাউ?
আমার মাথায় একটা আইডিয়া এসেছে। ওই কন্টেন্ট যদি তুমি বানাতে পারো, একদম হিট, ভাইরাল হয়ে যাবে একদম।
তুই এটা করতে পারলি?
কেন মা, ও কি কম ফুটফুটে? পুরো ব্ল্যাক ডায়মন্ড, দেখো মা।
আমার না মাথা ঘুরতেছে।